Welcome back to the YouTube, guys. And today, as you can probably see, we've got some Powerbomb behind us. Trying to not pay attention. Try and pay attention to these views here. We're going to talk about Do a Powerbomb and Extremity by the legendary, the incredible Daniel Warren Johnson. I have read these. I got them for my birthday. I think I got Do a Powerbomb before my birthday, actually, and then I got that for my birthday, and I finished this last night. And I just want to quickly talk about it because these are incredible. I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan, as you can probably tell. All of these, besides Wonder Woman there, and then all of them, all the way up to Shredhead, is Daniel Warren Johnson's covers. I'm a huge D-Dubs fan. I think the way he writes and draws is incredible. But we're going to talk about Do a Powerbomb, and then we're going to talk about Extremity. I've never ever watched any wrestling. That's a lie. I watched one episode back in the day. I got a Rey Mysterio toy. I don't know what was going on. He looked cool. And I did like The Undertaker, actually. And Triple H. And obviously John Cena. I don't really know wrestling, but his farewell was kind of like I was choked up, and I'm not into wrestling. I wouldn't even class myself into wrestling, but I was like, yo, that's anyway. So I don't know anything about wrestling or pro wrestling or anything like that. So I was very apprehensive and nervous about picking this book up, but it is incredible. It's incredible. I just thought it was going to be wrestling. And I would just like to preface this, if you haven't already seen this, spoilers, okay? Massive spoilers, but this book is incredible. It's got heart, it's funny, and I thought, like I said, wrestling. No, I was way off. Chimpanzee, orangutans, and they're called orangabangs. It's awesome. I'm going to try and not spoil it too much, but her father and mother are pro wrestlers, and her mother, unfortunately, passes away. And it's quite sad, actually, because when you find out who Cobra's son is, it gets you, and it's not just wrestling, it's a bit of Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't even say Dragon Ball Z on the back. But again, it's Daniel Warren Johnson. It's a D-Dubs story, so it's never straightforward, and that's what we love. That's what we love, don't we? We love it. They go to this tournament held by a necromancer, and he promises to bring back Lona's mother. I believe that's her name. Let me just double check, because Lona, correct. Lona's mother unfortunately passes away, and she wants to become a pro wrestler like her mum. And it's just it's a story of grief and trauma. And Cobra's son get invited to a tournament held by that man right there, Willard Necroton. He's a necromancer, and he promises, I'll bring back your mum if you win this. So they're like, yes. Okay? I'm going to, you know what, spoilers. Massive spoilers, okay? For spoilers, Cobra's son is Lona's father that killed the mother. By accident, he slipped off the rope, and when you find that out, it's like, it gives another weight of, you don't know that you're fighting with your father to bring back. That's why he's so like, yes, I want to help you bring back your mother, because it's his wife. But it's not just like I keep saying, it's not just a wrestling story, and I thought it would be. It's not. It's got heart. It's got humor. It's actually quite funny, to be fair, and it's heart wrenching, gut wrenching. I teared up a few times to see these two go through hell, and the other people in the tournament aren't easy. They do get pretty messed up, and they don't win but then they fight. Which, by the way, I still think it's crazy. They're fighting God. They lose, but then the last panel and last page of this whole story is Lona's mum sitting in the crowd, proud of her daughter for basically coming to terms with what's happened, and the dad being happy, and he's come to terms with what's happened, and he just wants to look after his daughter, and that they have now connected. Like I said, it sounds like a mess because I'm explaining it, but trust me, read Do a Powerbomb. It is up there probably as one of my favourite books from Daniel Warren Johnson. It is just incredible. Okay, and I love his Transformers run so much, but Extremity. Okay, where do I begin? Because this story is fantastic. I read Do a Powerbomb first, and I was like, nothing's going to top that. And I still think this has a slight edge. Okay, it's shorter, I believe. This is 1 to 12. This is 1 to 7, I believe. 1 to 7, yeah. But I do like the world in this. He comes up with a whole world, and when a book comes with a map, you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to be good, and it was fantastic. And let me try and see if I can remember. Thea and Abba, I believe, they lose their mother. Again, there's a theme. Loss, trauma, grief, and there's no better man to write it, because he just does so good. She is a really, really, really good artist, and in this world, there's a mother that basically speaks to the gods, I think, and she chooses a name for you. So Abba was protector, Thea was artist, but then she got her hand cut off by the Panzania. They're basically the can't really describe it really. These are the Rotto, and the Panzania are other people that want to conquer the Rotto, and they see them as scum and stuff like that. It's a very interesting concept. It's like post-apocalyptic fantasy with giant griffins and a robot. By the way, Rollo, my favorite character in this. I thought I would love Thea, whatever her name is, but no. Shiloh is an incredible character until he doesn't become a good character. But this is one of my favorite pages ever. Just that page there, and then Thea basically accepting that she needs to use weapons against her father, and save the world, because this monster that they've let out is going to destroy not just their enemies, but them as well. This story is just revenge, and Thea has to decide how far she wants to go with this revenge. Does she want to become like her father, bent on revenge and just not stopping until everybody is gone? And she has chosen not to fight. She doesn't want to be filled with revenge and rage and hatred, because she knows that it's not going to get them anywhere. It's just going to lead them down a road where both of the clans, both of the people could just die. And it's a really heartbreaking story. The father dies. I think, if I remember correctly, the brother dies as well. Rolo dies. Yep. And she's on her own, and it's sad, but both clans decide to give up on what their parents, because the Panzer's queen, she's hell bent of taking this place from the Rotto, and her daughter is like Thea in a lot of ways, just doing what their parents say. And at the end, they both come to a conclusion where they are not going to follow in their parents' footsteps. And I think it's just a beautiful thing, really. I think it is an incredible thing. Also, I would like to point out this fight between the Beast and Rolo and I can't remember his name, Utter. Incredible, incredible. I like a good story where I like a good Rogue One story where everybody goes. Do you know what I mean? And this is it. I really like the story. It's fantasy meets Daniel Warren Johnson. Honestly, I can't explain it anymore. It's just action, 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 and the art is done beautifully. Let me see if I can get a splash page early on in the book. I can. It's just incredible. I think Extremity and Dual Powerbomb are my favourite Daniel Warren Johnson books, and I loved The Moon Is Following Us and Transformers. Okay, I'm hopefully going to be getting Murder Falcon and Space Mullet at some point. I want to try and find Wonder Woman Dead Earth because I've got 2 or 3 out of 4 or 5. I can't remember how many, but I do want to get more of them. But these are good. Okay, these are really good. Are my books of the year, and they didn't even come out this year. So Daniel Warren Johnson, he's a pioneer, and I like. Don't get me wrong, I like his collaboration, but I like his solo work with Mike Spicer. I think they're just a perfect team, and you can't go wrong. Honestly, you cannot go wrong. So if you like fantasy, if you like wrestling, or actually if you don't like either, just pick these up because trust me, you will fall in love. But that is my review for these books. They're both incredible. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100, you name it. They're incredible. If you want to see me review more books, more comic books, or manga, just let me know because I just like talking about manga and comic books. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, do consider giving me a subscribe or follow or like, share. Go follow my TikTok, Hot Dog Comic Books, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. And if this, by the way, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. So enjoy.